This is something I'm slowly working on and experimenting with. I'm really tired of gas prices, so I'm trying to make an oxy-hydrogen booster for my rig, and hopefully the government won't kill me.
Oh. Maybe we shouldn't be taping this.
I've been playing around with electrolysis for a while. And
you need a guinea pig? Put those on my nipples?
Yeah.
No.
And originally I was looking at it for producing hydrogen for home use, like furnace, heating a home, or all kinds of applications. Possibly storing it and then using it to fuel a car. Yada 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 yada. So I started looking into that, and then I started falling across some stuff saying you don't really have to separate the hydrogen, because when you do electrolysis, and I think we may have even done it in Earth Science very briefly, where you basically run electricity through water and it breaks it into hydrogen and oxygen.
I wouldn't remember that, but maybe we worked on it together and I got credit for it.
So anyway, and it was kind of like one of those things which you never really, this is neat, but they never really said why you would do that.
Right.
So I know what electrolysis does now. Anyway, so when you make it, you make the oxygen and the hydrogen in the same container, and the problem is, like, you can't store oxygen and hydrogen together. Like, once you make it, you have to use it.
Right.
Because if you store it, it's extremely explosive and very unstable. It's not like propane or hydrogen by itself or anything, natural gas even. It's just very explosive if you store it. And so...
So it's explosive and unstable. Back to me again.
Yeah. So, back to me again. So anyway,
explosive.
I got thinking about what were the uses, and did some online research, and people are making these for their cars, and that's what I'm trying to do because the theory is there.
Cool. Now, is there a law governing to what extent you can use it and what you can use it for your vehicle, especially?
No, but it's not something you just, like right now I'm just trying to get the prototype to produce it in a way that's predictable, and then I have to do a whole bunch of other research on how do I know how to introduce it to the car. That's not a problem. It's getting the car to utilize it, because with old cars you just had carburetors and you could manually adjust the fuel mixture with a screw or whatever by adjusting screws and things like that, but now everything's computer controlled.
Right.
So the car has all these sensors, and it pays attention to how much air is in there, how much gasoline needs to pump in, blah blah blah. So it varies, like the mixture of gasoline, air, and how much gas and everything you use. So even if I were to introduce this to the car, unless I have a way of basically bypassing some of that stuff and letting it know, hey, look.
Yeah.
So this doesn't replace the gasoline; it just supplements it. So you're supposed to get like 100% more. So
nice.
like 50% more or whatever, you get twice your mileage.
So what have you found out so far?
Oh, I produced it. I had an explosion in my last one.
No kidding.
It went boom!
Nice.
It went big boom, and the thing that got me on this is how explosive it was. It was so explosive that it blew this lid here.
How explosive was she?
Very explosive, because the threads,
look at that lid.
The threads on this lid stayed in place just like that. It just blew the top off.
Excellent.
So that's because I didn't have my bubbler done, and I went and tested it without the bubbler, and I had an explosion.
Just give me a potato and an ice pick.
Just give me a potato and an ice pick.
So that diffuses it by, does that let some of the energy out in a way that's better contained?
It's called a bubbler, a flashback arrestor. What I did is originally just had this going in here, and I had a longer tube over here, and I hooked it up with the battery and everything, and I made like a small torch, because about in the 1950s there was a guy named something Brown, that's his last name, and he figured out that you could make a torch this way, and basically make the gas and use it right away as a torch. But the thing about hydrogen though, it's like compared to propane or gasoline or anything, where you like if you light it, you can almost see the flame spread. Like it's not so fast that you can't see this flame just go and catch the vapor and ignite it.
Right.
You can see it, but with hydrogen, you can't even see it. It moves so quickly. So that was the problem is with the flashback arrestor, basically water in here. So if it flashes back, it hits the water and it can't go any further.
Okay.
It just burns up what was in here.
Nice.
I didn't have that, so it just went boom.
Steps.
But it worked for half a second because I was like,
Making progress.
okay, get some pressure, get some pressure, get some pressure. I'm like, about now. Boom.
Cool.
It's like, oh my God! It scared
So it's
the
contained, and you can better change
supposedly. I won't.
what you're doing.
This time I'm just gonna feed it into a balloon. Maybe light the balloon on fire or something. But we're working on it this week, and I thought I'd bring it along.
That's pretty groovy. Are you gonna do? Do you have the materials to do something with it now?
Hmm?
Nice. Very nice.